7:49. Welcome back to BT Vancouver. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, this pandemic we're all living in right now may be testing some of your relationships with the people you live with. Perhaps your partner is getting on your nerves, or you've lost your temper once or twice on your children in the last weeks. Joining us now to talk more about how we can better manage this stress is Dr. Shimmy Kang. Good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning.
So I think the anxiety levels are still pretty high right now for a lot of people. It's hard to stay calm. This is totally normal, right? We're not going crazy.
Yes, it's totally normal. And in fact, I think we can expect our anxiety and fear even getting a bit more as the pandemic comes closer to us in BC. And we start to see numbers and start to hear people in the community that aren't well or even dying. So I think, we have to pace ourselves. We have to be kind and gentle with ourselves and each other. That extra bit of self-care, really taking care of ourselves. Sleeping, exercising, doing those things that bring us relaxation and joy, recognizing the time that we are in, definitely the next 2 weeks.
I've been talking to a lot of my friends more, which is nice, but a lot of them have been saying to me they live in tight, compact spaces, especially in Vancouver. Some people don't even have a balcony, so it can be pretty tough if you're sharing that space with a roommate or a partner when you're so on top of each other. What advice do you have for people that are trying to stay calm when you're living in such close quarters?
Yes, and that is a reality for many people. So now is the time for communication. So if you've ever heard about positive communication, now's the time to practice it. So some really quick tips. I tell people to really take a collaborative approach with the people around you. Don't be a jellyfish and just let them walk all over you and hold in what's important to you. That builds resentment. And don't be aggressive, authoritarian, a shark or tiger and demanding. That doesn't work either. You really have to come together collaboratively, shoulder to shoulder, with great communication. I call it the dolphin way of being in a relationship. And a really quick tip is it's called the sandwich method of communication. So if you want to say something like, I really would love it if you shut the door when you shower or whatever it is. Start with something positive, like I really appreciate yesterday, you put all the food away or the groceries. I'm hoping that you could also remember to shut the door when you shower. And I know we can work together. So you sandwich your ask or your criticism between two positives.
And then there's some people that have a completely different set of problems. They're all alone because they don't have anyone to fight with. For me, I'm really worried about my grandpa. He's considered at risk, and he's been alone for almost 3 weeks now. How does a very social person cope with the lack of physical contact if you live alone?
Right. So physical contact is so important for us as humans. It releases endorphins. It is a vital part of our day. Now, if we can't get it, we have to find other things that give us that same rush of endorphins. And one of the things that does is actually laughter and music. So for those people who are alone physically and not able to hug, I would ask them to give themselves that daily dose, maybe 3, 4, 5 times a day. Watch a comedy, tell a joke, call a friend, build in laughter and build in music. And those things can compensate for that physical touch for now. We don't want to do that long term, but it can certainly help. And then some virtual affection, of course. And I see people who, when I go for a walk, even though we're far away, just that friendly wave or smile goes a long way. So really trying to maintain any kind of social affection during this time.
Great advice as always. Thank you so much, Shimmy. We'll chat with you next week. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right, it is 7:54 here on BT. We're going to take another break. Russ has another check on the weather forecast from his home coming up.